Good afternoon. It's 12:23 where I'm living in El Paso, Texas. So, Dead or Alive 3. What a game. What a game. This is like, I've never in my life owned an original Xbox from 2001. I know my best friend at the time, his name was Zach. He had a original Xbox, and I would always call him to come over to my house, bring his Xbox, and we would play Halo 2. And we had like the best of times, like epic, epic, epic. We would just endlessly play multiplayer and co-op. Now, this was probably my first ever experience of Dead or Alive. I just remember being a little kid. I was born in 1992. And I remember being a little kid walking through Best Buy. My parents were buying some stuff, I don't know. And I would go to the video game section. The original Xbox was the new and poppin' thing at the time. This game being a launch title with the Xbox, if I am not mistaken, in 2001. Dead or Alive 3. I remember they had this on a demo, and I remember I just jumped on the controller. I started mashing buttons, and I saw my character doing like really cool stuff. Unlike Tekken, you put like how old was I at the time? I was like when I actually played it, I was probably like maybe 10 years old, so it was probably like 2002. So when a 10-year-old jumps on Tekken, you might be able to do a few moves, but to do the more complicated stuff that looks sexy, it's difficult. But give a 10-year-old a controller with Dead or Alive, man, you have a blast and you feel cool because you're doing all this badass shit. And doesn't mean this game's just for kids. Quite the opposite. But definitely there is a lot of room for advanced players to learn more complicated techniques and stuff like that, for sure. So Dead or Alive 3, absolutely fantastic. This is one of the main reasons why I decided to purchase a original Xbox. Thanks to the good Lord and our fellow salesman here in El Paso, Texas, I scored one for like $40. The console itself, I just ordered me a Duke controller too. I'm excited to play with that. Great looking manual, man. Color pictures, all these details. You can see how the graphics changed like immensely. What a huge jump. Just to think that, Dead or Alive 2 was released in the year 2000 and this was to come out a year later. Holy freaking cow. And the capabilities of the Xbox itself. When did they even have time to work on this? It's ridiculous. They added Hitomi. She was finally added to the series in part 3. Mature sexual themes and violence, yet it is still rated T for teen. Just absolutely fantastic. This is definitely going to be another 10 out of 10 game for me because of the fact that the graphics were drastically improved. The backgrounds and the interactions with the backgrounds were improved as well. It looks phenomenal. I swear you could pass this as like a Xbox 360 game in 2001. Holy cow. And that obviously you have your cool Aerosmith soundtrack. Like I said in my previous video for part 2 of Dead or Alive, Aerosmith really inspired the creator to come back to video games and to keep doing what he does best. The moves are still incredible. The characters are awesome. They added my beautiful Hitomi to it. They added this new chick, I forgot her name, chick with the white hair. Surprisingly, I thought she was going to be lame, but she is like, oh my god, one of the best fighters, and I love her fighting style. So fast. They added Hitomi. They added this drunk dude who does like the Jackie Chan Drunken Master style. His fighting style is incredible. At first, he might seem frustrating to control and difficult because his moves are extremely unique. Probably the most unique of the entire series. But I believe that if you invest the time and the work to master his moves, he will be one of the most irritating opponents that your opponent is going to face. Like, he will give like the hardest time and piss people off to the point where you will be winning the fights because his techniques are really interesting. But this game is incredible, man. I pop it in my Xbox once in a while just to enjoy it, like. And I think it's extremely important to buy an original Xbox console, because when you put these Xbox discs in your 360, and freaking emulator is what is displayed on your screen to imitate the image, and it doesn't literally show you the graphics the way they were intended. It's not really being run by the hardware of the disc itself. And I have proof of this because I bought an original Halo disc for Xbox original, and I thought I was going to be able to have a blast playing it on my 360. I popped it in, worked like a charm. I was playing it no problem. Now the graphics looked enhanced and they looked very crisp, and I was like, oh my god, I don't remember it looking like that. Obviously it's the HDMI cable, maybe that helps, but it looked really enhanced. Excuse me. Then when I got my Xbox console original, I popped in that very same Halo disc and it didn't even work. It didn't even load a level. It sucked. It was too scratched, which is a clear indication that the original Xbox actually reads the disc hardware-wise when the Xbox 360 does not. It just detects what disc it is and uses the emulator for that, which is a big lie, because that is not how the designers really wanted you to see the game at the point in time that it was released. So get an original Xbox. This game, 10 out of 10. Great soundtrack, great characters, great sound effects, great menu. The menu was redesigned completely to a more modern, looking menu with the backgrounds showing. It's a very clean menu, not cluttered with too many options. You have your different modes. The load times are extremely fast. I mean, no complaints. Just a beautiful game. This was going to be the last game for Dead or Alive that was rated teen, because in 2004, they released a remake of Part 1 and Part 2. They released it for the original Xbox in the year 2004, and that was the first fighting title to be released with the mature rating. Interesting. But yeah, love this game. Get it. And if you already have it, get another one. Thanks for watching.